The amazing fact about government grants is that there are actually more than 1,000 different federal grants which can be applied for in 26 different categories overseen by a specific federal agency. Unfortunately, there is an abundance of misinformation circulating in regards to how grants can be applied for and exactly who qualifies for a grant, making it a good place to begin our research together. It is important to understand that most grants are funded for the common good, and those ads that tell you that grants are freely available to just anyone who applies are not telling you the entire truth. Yes, grants are available, and the government does set aside money to fund these grants. But before you apply, it is important to understand what federal grants are all about, and the real purpose behind them. One of the first things you should know about federal grants is that they are offered to groups or individuals who meet specific criteria. You will often see those advertisements that say President Obama is going to buy you a home with a government grant. That is not the purpose of the federal grant program, and that is one of the first misconceptions which people have. The government does not offer free money as part of the grant program for you to buy a new home. What the government will do is provide block grants and other types which will help community projects. Those community projects may be housing projects, which would enable low-income families to find affordable housing. In other words, most government grants of this type are offered to nonprofit organizations. Even so, federal money is available for individuals or businesses if they fall within the scope of what the federal or state agency has to offer. When it comes to government grants, there are actually two main classifications. There are direct federal grants, which are offered directly to the person or organization that applied for the grant. And then there are pass-through grants that are awarded to states, and the individual or group needs to apply through the state or the agency the state awarded the grant money to. The types of available funds will vary depending on the organization and your personal situation. Perhaps the most popular types of federal grants are in the area of education, and of those, Pell Grants are the most popular. After educational grants, the most well-known and highly popular grants are disaster relief and prevention, energy, environmental quality, housing, natural resources, regional development, housing, agriculture, community development. Those are just a few of the different types of federal grants, but they are among the most popular. For example, there are grants for the humanities, social services, transportation, and several other types, but they are not as widely understood or publicized. As mentioned, the first thing you need to determine is which agency is most likely to have the type of federal grant you are looking for. Is the grant going to be direct from the federal government, or is it a pass-through grant? This may be the most difficult information to obtain. The best place to find information on grants is one of the websites set up with an online search. Sometimes information is listed by broad federal category, and other times you can look under the state or community in which you live. Most often, there are a number of search options available to you. If you aren't exactly sure how to classify the grant you are searching for, try the basic search option. Most reputable federal grant websites will offer this choice. After that, you can browse by agency, category, or even with an advanced search option. If you know which agency or sub-agency offers the grant, you can use the advanced search option. The more detailed your search or criterion is, the more likely you will be to find a grant, if one is available. How to apply for federal grants. After spending some time searching through the various options, and you have found the grant you would like to apply for, these sites will have an apply button or an application button which you can click on. This will take you to an online application form which will work in a few different ways. Sometimes you can complete the application process online, while other times you may be sent an application package which needs to be manually completed and sent back signed and dated. Application packages will vary and can be actual paperwork or an electronic application process. Sometimes you can download an application package which is quicker than having a packet mailed to you. Also, many such sites will also offer you the opportunity to receive automatic notification whenever new grants are available. For instance, if you are looking for an educational grant or an agricultural grant, you will receive an email anytime new money is legislated in that particular category. In other words, as soon as funds are available in that type of grant, you will be immediately notified by email. Some of these services are free and some are subscription-based. The best advice you can be given when trying to determine whether or not there is a federal grant available that meets your needs is to avoid those flashy online advertisements or television infomercials. There are a number of reputable websites dedicated to helping applicants find available funding if there is money available for that particular need. It may take a bit of research, but if money is available, you can find it with a bit of patience and persistence. You can also find information about what types of federal grants are available on the Government Grants portal, but you will most likely not be able to submit an application there. Keep in mind that most federal grants are issued by nonprofit or charitable organizations, and these are the groups you will need to be put in touch with. For this reason, take the information you find on the government's website for the type of grant you are looking for, and then find a website that can put you in touch with the organization that distributes the funding. Federal government grants are available and can offer the financial assistance you need, and it's just a matter of finding the agency authorized to fund the grant, fitting the criteria, and submitting the application within a certain time frame.